In this video, we will continue on with the point of sale system in JavaScript, and this is part 6. Alright, so what we're going to do here is right now, let me show you exactly what we have. We have this, and when we click on this, you can see it is working from a, well, I wouldn't say backend because it's not being saved somewhere in JavaScript, or sorry, in PHP or in a database, but there is like the interactive calculation that is not visible to the eye is working nicely. However, the visual aspect of it, that is still lacking. So we're going to work on this, and this part is quite complicated, and the reason why it's complicated is not because it is a complicated matter, no, because we're going to work back in this part here, and this is becoming very extensive, and as you keep on adding up on this, it becomes harder and harder. So you can see here, this is where we have all the append items, etc., etc. And this is our biggest challenge now. So what we want to do is here the following. So this might take some time, but what we want to do is this. We want to create a delete button here, because the moment we click on this, it deletes here, but it doesn't show that it's being deleted. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to move this price here to this here. And I was considering, should I rebuild this from scratch, but I think probably not, better not. Just leave it as it is. We're just going to move this here, and then we're going to put in here a nice button, which is our delete button. That the moment we click on that, it will delete or remove the visual item of this. Alright, so let's start and work on this. So first thing what I want to do is here, I want to open up here the console log, and then let's look at this specific item here. So this one here is the danger text with the price. That's what we want. We want to push this here to the side for now. Can we make it more fancy? I'm sure it's possible, but just look what you prefer yourself. I will not go too deep in this because it's really hard, and once you know how to do it, it is easy to do, but it just takes time. Alright, so what we need to look for here is something with a text danger and with the price related item. So we have here the text danger, and this is the item, order item price span. Alright, so we have this here. Let's look where it's being appended. So if you scroll down a bit, you will see here eventually it appends in here. It appends in here on the order item. And now I don't want to put it append on the order item. I want to append it on the span here itself. So this span here has an image and the text, and so we're going to put in here the price as well. So that's what we're going to do. So what I'm going to do here is, maybe we can eventually rename this later on, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy this, comment this out for now, and then let's look, where are we going to add this? So we need to have, well, this is the order item left span, and I assume that this is the one that we're currently having the text and the other items. So yes, that is correct, because you can see here the image tag as well. So what we're going to do in here, I'll just put it in here as well. We just keep this like that, and then we say here exactly the same. I'm going to copy this, and then here I'm going to append the order item price span. Alright, if I save this now, I'll just say here, I'll just say add the price at the end. Save this, refresh. We should see a repositioning of the price. So that is number one. So we could do it nicer with putting it here a little bit down, but that's alright. Now what I want to do here is the following. I want to put in here the delete button. So basically the delete button will be very similar to this, like a clear or pale. Well, let's open up the developer tab. I'm just going to grab here, what is this type of button? I think it's a pale, rounded pale. I think there's a rounded, I think circle as well, or something like that. That will be probably something like that. Alright, so what we're going to do is, and basically we have that here. There was, let's see here, it's somewhere in here, the order item. So basically we have to append on the order item, but here this will be a specific button. So this is a span with the button. I guess here we can just give it a button name. So I say here, I'll just give it here the delete button. I'll leave it for this now because we were not going to use this yet. Alright, but this will be the delete button. So let's look here now at the next item. So we have here, well, where can we put it? We can just put it somewhere else here. This is the append of the price. Alright, so we can just put it in here. So let's create a delete button. So we say here constant. And we say delete button equals create element, or sorry, it should be document create dot create element, document dot create element, and then here this will be button or button. That's fine. Oh, that is not what I wanted. There we are. All right. So once we have this, what we want to do is we want to add up a text node. So what is the text in this button? Well, very similar to what we have in here. We say here create a text node. I will just copy this part here. Then we say here delete button dot create text node, and this text node consists of an X. Very simple. The reason why I want to make sure that this is a delete button. Another item what we want to do here is we want to add a class list. So, or class name, that's probably the right term. And we can just copy this here. I'm going to copy that, delete button, class name. And this is the only one that I was confused with, class list, class name. Well, class name apparently can or allows multiple items. So that is nice. So I'm going to remove this. And all I say here is a btn danger. And then we say here btn pill or circle. I'll probably later on I will just look for what's the official term, rounded circle or something. I have no idea. But this is the item here. So we have 3 classes we're adding up here. Once we did this, I'm going to copy this delete button, go down here, and remember here, oh, we had this already. Remember this part here, and this will be attach the delete button into the li tag. All right, so if we do this, we have this now, and I should expect here now a button. Oh, did we get an error? All right, so can I read create text node of undefined? Let's see here, delete button, document.create text node. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Where are we? This one here. So what are we missing? All right. Create text, of course, sorry. I'm going to create here constant. This should be, of course, the text. That's it. All right, so once we did this, we need to append this again to make sure that this the text is appended or added in here. Yeah, so what we have to do here, let's do this one immediately. I'll just put in the text here. Append the text to delete button, and then we say here this dot append child, and what will be our child? In this case, it is the text itself. Save that. That's a text node. There we are. So if I have this now, append child, capital C. Sorry. Save that. Let's see if it works now. There we are. All right. So we have this here. I see that this is probably not what I expected. Let me quickly check what's the circle name for this. All right. I found the answer. I guess in Bootstrap it is called rounded circle. If I'm not mistaken, what was it? Rounded pill, I guess. Sorry, that's the right term. So let's search for this. This is the btn pill. All right, let's save this now again with the rounded pill. So now we should have a nice circular motion. All right, so we got this here, and I guess this one is quite big. We should, if this is this big, and how big is this? 42 by 24 plus. All right, so we should maybe make this. How is this really calculated? I'm not certain about that. We should make that maybe a bit more that doesn't work because the item just doesn't want to show correctly. So we have this rounded border with a width, and what if I do height 25? Doesn't work like that. All right, there should be a fixed thing for that. I would recommend you to explore that yourself for now. And all right, so we have this now. But of course, remember, when we did the function trigger was outside here. And I see this effect here. It basically clips off the side. That's all right for now. There should be maybe a padding or margin around here. A little bit just to get that effect. But fair enough. I'll leave it for now. Here, what we have to do here now is to figure out how did we did this here. What we did here was we put the function. Let me show you again what we did. That was in the previous video, by the way. We put the function in here. Let me check. We have this one here. The on-click function is this one here. All right, so we need to reassign it somewhere else. But if we do that, then we can eventually delete the item. But what we need to do then is, of course, because this is, well, you will see later on, we need to be very clear on how we are going to delete that specific element. So we're going to figure out where we created this, and then we have to put it on the div here, or sorry, on the button here. Let's look here. We had somewhere the on click in the set attribute. Remember that one? Set attribute. Oh, sorry, it jumps up and down. All right, set attribute. This is the one we have. We put it here on the order item. So I'm going to cut this out now. I don't want this on the order item. Where I want this is basically on the following. I want to get it, and then we're going to look for the delete button. All right, so we're going to put it here. I'm going to put that in there. So if I save this now, let's refresh. All right, so now we click on this, and now if I click on here, as you can see, it doesn't delete anymore the value, but if I click here, it starts to remove the values nicely. All right, so that means that we have this button working, but the button works only on the array. Now let's get the visual, because we are very close to completion now. Let's put in here a semicolon. Should be there as well. All right, so now we have this. So we have the function here already here below somewhere. This is it. So we have the order ID. So we already have deleted the item here, but what we need to do here also delete the item itself. So what we can do here, and now we come a bit of the tricky part, because basically what we're going to do here is we're going to remove the parent of this specific value. So we say here, let me think, what would be the item? And this will be definitely remove. It will be related to remove child, where we're going to get the ID. And let's see how we're going to get this. All right, it's this specific value. All right, just give me a minute. I'll just check on how we're going to do this exactly. All right, so I've got it. So, all right, this is what we're going to do. We need to do some tiny adjustments here. And let's see. I guess this was delete. Where are we now? We're going up. First of all, here, this one here. So this is what we're going to do. We have here the item, delete item, which is important because this will give us the ID number in the array. However, this here basically is the following. We need to delete this. So what I want to do is here, I want to put in a comma and type in this. And the reason I use this, because this will identify the button itself, which will be very useful right now. So then we're going to look at delete item. Let's look at this function here. Oh, there was this one here. I will just here up, so just make sure you are here. All right, so in the delete item here, what I want to do is I want to grab first the parent of this item here. So, or to be more specific, not even the parent, but I want to have the ID of not of the list item, but of this one here. This is crucial. So I'm going to grab here the order list. This is the ID name, and if I'm not mistaken, we also have this assigned here. So if we go up here, order list, there you are. Let order list equals document dot get element by ID order list. So this is exactly the same term. So we can use this one here. And then what I want to do here, because what we're going to do is we're going to remove the, not the button, but the parent of the button. And here's the nice thing. The parent of the button is the child of the order ID or order list ID. So meaning that in the UL, this is the unordered list where it consists of, that's the parent of this. And this is important to remember because we're going to use a function. It's called remove child. And I don't know why it's called remove child, but fair enough. So that would mean we click on this and this, and then it would say remove child. We cannot remove the parent, so we have to remove the child. So we have to go up or down depending on our situation. So I hope this is not too fuzzy, but let me show you that will make far more sense. This is why we have the this. So I'm going to put in here the comma, because now we also added out this here, and I will just give this we just say button. All right, this button you will see here now. If I do console.log, this is very useful. You put in here button, and if we do this, the button will indicate. Let's well, why is this so big? Let's reduce this a bit. All right, so the button will indicate the one we select. So we select this. Let's go here to console log. You can see here we get here the ID name plus the this. The this is a value by itself. Understand that referring to this entire anchor tag, or sorry, not anchor tag, button tag. So that's the button here. So if I select this, you can see here now we have 2 and 1. All right. So it deletes already, but don't worry about that. This is the most important one information we get. All right. So pay attention now, because this is originally the child of the list item here. And this list item is the child of the entire unordered list. Right? This is with the notes. We go notes UL for unordered list. Then in the UL we have the children, and the children are the list items. And in that list item you might have also another notes, and all those notes in there are children as well. So basically, if we look at it from this point of view, the unordered list is like the grandfather, the list item is the parent, and the button here is the child of list item. All right, so once you get that, then we can play around here, because the command here is this. We have the ordered list, and then it says here remove child. So for some reason we need to use this one here. So we're going to remove the child, but if we were going to put in here now the button, you will see you get an error. And the error is straightforward. It says, sorry, this is not the child of ordered list. So if I select this and now we click on this, you see here, uncut, failed to execute remove child on node. The node to be removed is not a child of this node, which makes sense because the unordered list was the grandfather and the button was the grandchild. So we're missing the one between, which is the parent. So to do this, we have the button, all right, then we say dot, and then we put in here parent element, all right. So now when we say we go from button, we want to go one parent element up. And let me show you this as well, so you have an understanding of what I'm talking about, because it's very fuzzy if you don't see it. Save that. So now sorry, I don't want to save that. I want to refresh this. Now I select this, and then if I click on this, it deletes it, and you can see here the button. That was the button here that was related to this value here, and this one here. Right, this is the item, and then we say go one parent up, or one step up, and one step up is the list item here, and then we have here the ordered list, which is the grandfather or the parent of the LI. So we say here in the ordered list remove the child, and then in the button we need to go one level up to the parent, which would be the child of this. So I hope you understand this. And if you don't, it's okay. If it works, you should look if it works, because now you see if this will work nicely. There you are. We click on this, we have that, and that's it. All right. So now we are basically done with it. But of course you say, wait a minute, we're not done. I'm definitely not done here, because let's be honest. What I want is the following. I want when I click on checkout, we should show here now the checkout view. That will be the next video. And then eventually someone was asking as well, will we have a print receipt? Of course we need to have a print receipt function, but it will not be a print receipt directly. It's slightly more complicated on the website, sadly enough. But I will show you how we can make it where it shows a print screen, and then you can print the receipt as well. So those will be added up as well. And then eventually what I think that we should have here is very up here is probably another tab. And in that tab you would see the order slips, meaning how many orders are still standby you're making. You remember, if you go to, let's say, Domino's Pizza, you can click on or you will see a screen there in the kitchen where they can see the orders that are confirmed and time waiting, etc., etc., all these kind of things. That's what we should have as well. So, but that is very, very, there will be many many videos afterwards because we have to work on the checkout tab. We're going to work on the calculator, the payment, the change, the print receipt, etc., etc., and customer name if that's necessary. So that will be in the next video. You should have this now all working, and let's make sure. If I select all of those, let's see if this also works. If I delete all of that, there you are. This nicely clear it all. All right, beautiful. So if you're wondering how is then this working here with the drinks, open up this developer tab, and then let's see here. What is the ID number here? Delete this. That will be the number here. As you can see here, that's correct because this is probably all different numbers. Do we have, is it all correct? Let's double check one more time. Put in here a few more. All right, so we have 6 items. Now I'm gonna put in this 2, then we delete the Coke. There we are. 150, let's delete this. There we are. 5, all right, 4, 2, 150, there we are. All right, so this works nicely. So we have now the most important part. The other parts are, to be honest, easier. This one here took me a very long time to understand, but now you have it as well. So next video, we're covering the checkout tab.